I welcome everybody. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. My name is Aki Abolade, and I'll be your host for today. I welcome everybody to this wonderful event. Thank you very much, and I hope we all had a wonderful night and we enjoy this conference. Thank you very much. I would like to kickstart the event since we are running out of time. We are a bit late, but not so late. So I'll start with all due protocols are truly observed, and I will try to be fast as possible. Thank you very much. So introducing our guest to the high table, I would like to introduce the acting VC and the chief host, who is duly represented by Professor Keye Abiono, Professor Adekeye Abioyo. A round of applause, please. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You are welcome, sir. Duly welcome. All right, so on my list, followed by the acting VC, who is represented by Professor Adekeye Abiono, I would like to invite the chairman, Medical Rehabilitation Therapist Board of Nigeria, who is duly represented by Professor Adegoke BOA. A round of applause for him, sir. You are welcome, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So, followed by that, I would like to welcome and introduce the registrar, represented. Okay, the registrar is not represented. She came live. So, Dr. Olufunke T. Akanle. A round of applause for you, ma. A round of applause for you, ma. Professor T. Akanle. All right, we can I skip that? Yes. All right, thank you very much. So our mother for the day, or of the day, our mother of the day is, please, I would like everyone to jam your hands together and applaud this wonderful woman, Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga. She's a federal honorable, Ayodele Wole Ishokan, Federal Constituency, Abuja, Nigeria. That's from Osun State. Our mother of the day. Okay, we can still move on with that. The president of SPAAN himself, who is the host. President of SPAAN, who is the host, Professor J. Abiola Ademokoya. President of SPAAN. A round of applause for you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. All right. On my list, I have the Smile Train Incorporation. This is a brand who is represented by Mrs. Victoria Awaize. You are welcome, ma. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, still introducing the guests to the high table. I'd like to invite Professor O.A. Fakolade, the Dean Faculty of Education. A round of applause for you, sir. All right, thank you very much. The chairman, LOC, Dr. Olawale Oguntinro. I hereby invite you to the high table. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. And yes, the HOD, the head of Department of Special Education, University of Ibadan, Dr. Ayodele Osisanya. I invite you to the high table, sir. Thank you very much. So all protocols duly observed. The next on our program, we have to observe protocol, and it's time for the national anthem. All right. Still calling our keynote speaker, we have Professor Catherine. Professor Catherine. A round of applause for her. Then, Dr. So, Dr. Toby J.E. Dr. Toby J.E. A round of applause for him, sir. A round of applause. Those are keynote speakers for today. Professor Toby J.E., Professor Catherine, and Professor Folu Ologe. All right. Please, a round of applause, please. You're welcome, ma. You're welcome, ma. You're welcome. So our mother of the day just came inside now. Honorable Chief Mrs. Ogunfolaju Christiana Olushola, representing Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga, which is our mother of the day. You're welcome, ma. Please, a round of applause for her, please. I kindly invite you to the high table, ma. Please, a round of applause, You're welcome, mommy. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. All right, now that we have our mother of the day, and we are due for the national anthem. So first thing first, we have to observe protocols and represent Nigeria. Please, with due respect, I'll seek all right. Thank you very much. Part of our guests just arrived now, so sorry. I would like to invite to the high table the Vice Chancellor, University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, Ondo, Nigeria, Professor Adeshegun Fatusi. Professor Adeshegun Fatusi. Professor Adeshegun Fatusi. All right, it's coming in. Oh yeah, you're welcome, sir. Yeah. All right. While we are still waiting for his entry, I think, and I don't want to observe the national anthem without the chairman and the chief host not being on seats. So I'm sorry. All right, he's making his entry now. The Vice Chancellor, University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, Ondo, Nigeria, in person of Professor Adeshegun Fatusi. You are highly welcome to this wonderful event, sir. Thanks for taking your time to come down all the way. Have your seat, sir. All right, thank you very much. Since all protocols have been duly observed, now we can have the national anthem. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So moving straight, we are about to kickstart the event properly, and I welcome everybody to this event once again. My name is Aki Abalade. All protocols are duly observed. To all respected personalities on the high table, I greet everybody and I say welcome and thanks for taking your time out. Now we'll have our speeches and we'll have the welcome address by the chairman LOC in person of Dr. Olawale Ogundiran. A round of applause for him, please. Professor Olawale Ogundiran.
Good morning, sirs. Good morning, ma'ams. EBC, the SPAAN president, all the members of the executive, everybody on the high table, all properly observed. I want to welcome you to this 2021 SPAAN conference. This is an international conference. I want to thank the members of the executive for nominating me as the chairman of this year 2021 LOC. Thank you very much. I want to welcome all the members, Pathologists and Audiologists Association in Nigeria. This is a noble profession. I want to tell you, we had a courtesy visit to the BC some minutes ago. And the president was just saying, these are people ambassador to just, to this, to it, ambassador to the world. I want to charge us as a member of this noble association. You have to go there to represent this association. I want to give you two events that happened that I know about. There was a patient in my working place some time ago. He had RTA, road traffic accident, and he has a temporal bone fracture. And the relative of the patient went to this nurse. I'm talking of professionalism. The relative went to this nurse. My mom is having a he has pain. Instead of for the nurse to say, oh, don't worry, I've given her analgesic, she will be all right. you know, the thing will resolve another. He said, I wanted to say it in my lingua franca so that, but because of people in diaspora, he said, where do you want her to take? You know, that's not good enough. There was a time I don't want to mention the teaching hospital in this Southwest. Somebody was talking to a doctor. Please attend to us. He said, your name is patient, so you have to decide patient. That's not good enough. But I want to charge us as audiologists, speech pathologists, we are to go there to contribute to our quota. We are not supposed to add to the suffering. You know, in this era, look at our, if this was commended in the title of this conference, COVID-19, people are stressed. Depression is on the high. People are committing suicide. We have to go there and live there. So I want to welcome you again to this 2021 conference. Enjoy yourself. Even the PC said it. You have not seen all in Ibadan. If you have not been to zoo before, go there, go to town, enjoy yourself. So I want to welcome you. Get ready. You will be here for 2 days. You will enjoy your stay. You will. It is fully loaded. Our guest speakers are around, and I want you to pay attention. God bless you as you have come. Thank you very much.
I would love us to appreciate the chair of this 2021 local organizing committee. Can we just appreciate it more? That's a good one and a very sharp one. For the benefit of those who are not members of Speech, Pathology and Audiology Association in Nigeria, when I say better hearing, you respond, I say better speech. They know it better. Better hearing, better hearing. So let's appreciate all our people on the high table here as I invite the president of Speech Pathologists and the Audiology Association in Nigeria, Professor J. Abiola Adebukoya, to give the presidential speech. You are welcome, sir.
University of Ibadan, Professor Adebola Ekonla, who is here ably represented by the Dean of Students, Professor Adekeye Abiona. You are welcome, sir. Again, the Vice Chancellor, University of Medical Sciences, Ondo City, Ondo State, Professor Adeshek Patusi. Incidentally, somebody reminded me this morning of a book written by Charles Dickens, A Man of Two Cities. Then I remember that I particularly have two vice chancellors. One is of my primary university, and another one is where I'm being known to, where I'm being seconded to. I'm very happy to have them here this morning. I want to say good morning to you, sirs. The model of the day, Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga, the honorable representative representing the Ayodele Rewole Sokon constituency of Osun State, hereby ably represented by Mrs. Ogun Olayu Christy Olaju. Please pardon me. You are very much welcome. The chairman of our regulatory body, Medical Rehabilitation Therapist Board of Nigeria, who on this occasion is unavoidably absent because she, as well as the registrar of MRTB, was suddenly called to come to Abuja and defend the budgets for the board. Dr. Umo Edet Udom, who is also ably represented by a prominent member of the Medical Rehabilitation Therapist Board of Nigeria, Professor B.O.A. Adegoke. Please, can we appreciate him and the chairman? Again, the registrar, the regulator of our professions, audiology and speech-language therapy, who, like I've mentioned, had planned, in fact, was almost on her way to Ibadan before she was suddenly called to come to Abuja, and I'm sure by now she must be there defending our budget for this year. Dr. Olufunke Akonle, in spite of her not being able to come, she has requested that her deputy should be here to represent her, Mr. Adeniran. Please, maybe anytime it comes around, properly introduced. Our keynote speaker, a friend of many years, quiet but very intelligent, powerful, soft-spoken, soft-walking, Professor Folu Ologe, the consultant otorhinolaryngologist from University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. Please allow me to add just one or two lines. Today, we plan to recognize the outstanding contributions of some individuals who have made great sacrifice, great contributions to where our professions are today. Of course, we cannot recognize all of them on one spot like this. Already we have Professor Fatusi here, and I'm sure by now the family of our late founder, great teacher, great mentor, late Professor Ayodele Bakare, will be joining us from Canada to watch this event. But let me go back to where I was. In 1990, the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital decided to establish the Department of ENT. And then it was late Professor Oyekwere Ogan, who was seconded from University Teaching Hospital in Ibadan to go to Ilorin to go and start that new department. Very unusual. Professor Ogan decided to start a new department with only himself as ENT surgeon and 2 audiologists with 1 speech therapist. Quite very unusual. It was born out of his love and the due recognition he attached to the practice, the relevance of speech pathology and audiology in the entire ENT domain. Not quite long after I myself, late Mrs. Olukoju and a friend, Ose Oboite, When we started the department in 1990, we lost Professor Ogan in a ghastly accident. But then before he died, he got 2 or 3 more young ENT prospectives. And then Dr. Oluologe happened to be one of them. Today, he's here not just as a keynote speaker, but as a friend of audiology and speech pathology. He read the mind of Professor Ogan before he died. If Professor Ogan didn't die, I'm sure, according to his words then, that he wanted to establish an excellent center of ENT, speech pathology and audiology. He was already planning to send us to UK then to train us as speech therapists and audiologists. But wonderfully enough, Dr. Oluologe then read up his mind quite very well, and he precisely took over from where Professor Ogan left. He has been quite very wonderful to our professions. He has been showing a lot of understanding, cooperation, unity. And it is also on that note that is here today to present the keynote address. But let me also add that when next we have such an occasion like this, late Professor Oyekuwere Ogan should be one of those that will be recognized for their outstanding contribution to our professions. The Dean of the Faculty of Education, I understand he was here while we went to the Vice Chancellor's office. Professor Olufemi Fakolade, the head of Department of Special Education, where for now we have speech pathology and audiology, Dr. Ayo Sisanya. The representative of the Smile Train International Organization, that wonderful non-governmental organization that has sponsored the surgery of over 30,000 young children in this country, children who had speech, cleft palate, and cleft lip. This organization has sponsored the surgery that bridged the gap created by palate. And this organization has not only stopped at that, it has kept on supporting us morally and financially. Many of us have benefited from training program organized by the Smile Train organization. Today, that organization is represented by Mrs. Victoria Awase. The chairman, local organizing committee for this conference, who left the podium a few minutes ago, Dr. Olawale Ogundiran. Today, allow me to also add 1 or 2 sentences. The clothes, the attire, the kente that Dr. Ogundiran is wearing is not for show. It is a token of appreciation of Ghana to this association and to Nigeria for the leading role SPAAN is playing in the entire Africa. When we had the Maiden International Conference in 2013, Ghana sent an audiologist to come and spy on what we are doing. Those of us who were at Lagos Airport Hotel, you remember Dr. Boateng came. And when Dr. Boateng came, he was he was surprised that in Nigeria we have gone this far. But then he said, "You are the giant of Africa. You are leading, we are following." Professor Boateng went to Ghana and started the Ghanaian version of speech pathologists and Audiologist Association in Ghana. It is also on basis of that that some of our colleagues have gone to Ghana to help develop the profession over there. Today, Dr. Ogundiran is wearing the cloth of Ghana. And let me also say, I have now in the car, as token from Ghana, to say, Nigeria, thank you very much for what you are doing in this field of speech pathology and audiology. Several professors here. I can see Professor Adebomi Oyewumi from Department of Special Education. Professor Chris Vandel from the Department of Special Education and Rehabilitation Sciences, University of Jos. Our leaders who have retired but are not tired. Mr. Komodi, who was the first audiologist employed by Lagos State government. Mrs. Grace Oguniyi. I'm sure Mrs. Grace Oguniyi is not a new person to my Vice Chancellor, Professor Fatusi. Mrs. Grace Oguniyi served at University of Ife for several years and is still serving. Please permit me, because of the time, if I cannot duly recognize, everybody is important. Everybody is important. You are well appreciated. You are very much welcome. The rest of the executives of the Speech Pathologists and Audiologists Association in Nigeria. I can see, oh, okay, please. As you have been told, my job is, in addition to what the Chairman LOC mentioned, is to welcome you to this occasion. We have spent much time with the Vice Chancellor, incidentally the incoming Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan. I think one of the wonderful achievements in going there is that the incoming Vice Chancellor, who is going to take over the reign of this university on November 1st, has had the opportunity to know about this association, to know the UI connection, to know about the transition plan that is being made now from Faculty of Education to the Faculty of Medical Rehabilitation. And I'm so happy. Please, my Vice Chancellor, Professor Fatusi, the incoming relay recognized you as an alumnus of UI, commended you for the great work you are doing at UNIMED, and also said I should give you a wonderful bag, a UI souvenir, especially for you. The issue, of course, is the theme of this conference, as you have noticed from the program, is on how COVID-19 has affected our profession, the practice, the changes, the new trends that have come up, how we need to adapt our practices to the new normal, so that just like other professions in the health sector, we can keep on achieving what we're supposed to achieve in spite of COVID-19. I'm not going to say much about that. We already have an erudite scholar, ENT surgeon, a friend of our profession, who is coming to deliver keynote address very soon on that. But like the Chairman LOC said, we are here to learn so much about our profession, learn so much about COVID-19, and learn so much about the necessary adaptations we have to, so that we remain relevant now and also beyond COVID-19. Like our Vice Chancellor mentioned, University of Ibadan, of course, like you know, no any other university like UI. Incidentally, while we were there, he read to us another webometry report that placed University of Ibadan first in Nigeria, first in Africa, first in West Africa, 7th in Africa somehow. And Professor Adegoke, I think you heard about the statistics. And when we talk about speech pathology and audiology, we are, of course, first in Nigeria, first in West Africa, first in Africa. Can you clap for that? It is in keeping in trend, you know, keeping the pace with what our leaders have started, that we have gathered again this year to learn and to exchange ideas. And it is my pleasure to say you are welcome to the University of Ibadan, the first and the best, the only university that can loan or produce so many vice chancellors, including the vice chancellor of University of Medical Sciences, and so on, and others who went to University of Ilorin, UI of Ilorin. I want to say you are all welcome. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. A round of applause for the chairman, please. Thank you very much. And he also did mention that the happy birthday to you, sir. I got that gist from her, so I wish you long life and prosperity. Thank you very much. Please help me celebrate him, please. Happy birthday to you, sir. All right, moving on straight. We'll have the VC speech. I would like to invite from the high table the Vice Chancellor. A round of applause for him, please. A round of applause for him, please. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The distinguished guests on the high table, the academics here that are here, professors, doctors, distinguished participants. If I'm to start mentioning names and positions, I think it will take a long time. So please permit me to sit, stand, bend, whatever on the existing protocol already established. So good morning once again. The acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Babatunde Ekola, would have loved to be here personally, but right now he's in Abuja having some meetings there. And this morning he reminded me of the directive that he has given to me to represent him here. And I'm so happy that this morning the ESCO met with the incoming Vice Chancellor. In fact, he also happened to be the first association that he will meet personally since he's assuming Monday. So I think I'm lucky too, because I'm also in education. Some years back, I've been privileged to attend. Professor Ademokoya was my lecturer. When I did diploma in education, he taught me all this, something having to do with special education. So more or less what you want to discuss is not all that new to me personally. But then, the charges from the acting Vice Chancellor, he congratulated all the members of Speech Pathologists and Audiologists Association of Nigeria for this wonderful conference. Being annual, and he charges that you should go ahead and make it annual and don't stop. Why is it so? We all know what we experienced during the COVID-19, and many associations could not function again after that. But for you to come on board again, examining the emerging trends during COVID-19 and even after, I think it's commendable indeed. And this provides an opportunity for you to cross-fertilize ideas. Take a look at what is new in your area. Take a look at what might come up later so that the society will be better off. We should not forget that what we are doing is even beyond what you call academics. You are helping the humanity. There was a time when someone called me from Lagos when the child had speech defects. I had to refer that child to our department here, special education. You found that what you are doing is really helping the society a lot. It's unfortunate that most of the people at the grassroots, they might not know the importance of what you are doing. And gradually, I believe that they will get to know this. So it behooves us to educate the people through many means, governments and so on and so forth, so they can know the importance of this association. And I want to say this as, it is important for you to go beyond normal academics. You are more or less what's called pressure group. Pressure group says that there are so many facilities that are needed for you to perform. If you don't have these facilities, there's no way you'll be able to perform maximally. So as a pressure group, you find a way of reaching out to the government, reaching out to individuals, reaching out to philanthropists to support the association. And by supporting the association, more or less, you have necessary facilities, equipment for you to perform wonders. I just said that the association is first in Nigeria and so on and so forth. We want you to go beyond that. Make sure that your presence is felt by the government. Make sure that you reach to the highest point so that government can give you necessary support to have the facilities that you need to assist the poor ones. Yours is a very special area indeed. And now that you have it, prolonged. When you talk of special education, you know what it means. And that is why you have the word special there, not ordinary education. And when you have legislation like this existing, it behoves you to put in the best so that the society can really benefit from it. The incoming Vice Chancellor has already welcomed you, charging you to visit our facilities. You are very, very unique. Being the first and the best. The president said Uni Ilorin, incidentally Uni Ilorin happened to be an offshoot of University of Ibadan. It's true, for mystery, yeah. University of Ibadan started in Ilorin, and that's the truth. The best Vice Chancellor happened to be from UI. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to charge you to make the best use of this opportunity in your discussions. Feel free, discuss academically so that the society can benefit from it. Get your papers published. And apart from that, the other area that I mentioned is that see yourself as what? A pressure group. To get something worth for the society in terms of facilities that you will need. Most of the universities, if you are to be sincere, most of the universities, they don't have facilities to work with. So when you have a station like this, they'll be able to assist us to get the necessary equipment to perform. So my job is very simple. To welcome you, which I've done, and at the same time, to declare this open. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare this conference open, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Adekeye Abiono. A round of applause for him, please, representing the Vice Chancellor. All right.
Thank you very much, sir. Next on the agenda is the goodwill message. No, sorry, the keynotes. The keynote addresser from Professor Folu Ologe. Please, a round of applause for him. Professor Folu Ologe is a consultant, otorhinolaryngologist from the University Teaching Hospital. Professor Folu Ologe is a graduate of the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. He is a professor of otorrhini, ENT, and an honorary consultant to the University of Ibadan, Teaching Hospital, Ibadan, Nigeria. He is also an alumni of Haggai Institute, having had advanced leadership training in Maui, Hawaii, USA. Folu Ologe serves as chairman of Personal Development Center, Ilorin, Nigeria, and pastors Evergreen Pastures Chapel of Faith, Ilorin, Nigeria. He is married to Fumi Ologe, a pharmacist who teaches pharmacology in the College of Health Sciences, University of Ilorin, Nigeria. They are blessed with 3 wonderful children, Dara, Sheung, and Bokumi. Please, a round of applause for our pro. You're welcome, sir.
It is a great privilege to be here this morning to deliver the keynote address. I think Ayo told me it's 3 hours, have you? Okay. He has denied that it's not 3 hours. I have carefully listened to the protocol, and I want to stand on the existing protocol already well established. But before I go on with the lecture, I must thank the organizers for inviting me to deliver this lecture. We grew up with Professor Ademokoya, like he has explained, and it's nice to know that he has continued to make progress over the years, and we thank God for the impact that he is making. I also must mention about Dr. Afolabi. He's been very useful to us as we treat our patients who require hearing aids. And so that I will not go on too much, I could mention everybody here and tell how useful they have been to us in our practice. But you will allow me just to go on from here. The title of this keynote address is COVID-19, a global game changer. A game changer is defined by the Oxford English Dictionary as an event, idea, or procedure that effects a significant shift in the current way of doing or thinking about something. If we accept the definition as appropriate, then COVID-19 must qualify as a game changer. It certainly has effected significant shift in our ways of doing many things. Face mask is commonly worn by medical doctors as they perform some specific duties, and also some factory workers working in dusty environments. But today, because of COVID-19, to get access to some public spaces, you have to wear a face mask. In fact, when I arrived here at this, to the high table, I saw that they already provided face mask for me. When we got to the Vice Chancellor's office, you saw it pasted everywhere. No entry without face mask. Somebody lost his face mask in the course of our meeting, and he simply put his hand into the pocket and retrieved another one. Please use this one. That's a game changer. Changes in the way we do things. Also, frequent hand washing, use of hand sanitizers. They were not in existence as prominent as they are now in 2018. So certainly, COVID-19 is a game changer. A game changer can be a negative game changer or a positive game changer. COVID-19 has been both positive and negative. Well, negative because we have lost some important people. Up till last week, there is the loss of one of the finest military officers America ever had. And several people like that. We've lost former governors, senators, vice chancellors, and other things. So in that sense, we can say it's a negative game changer. Also, several people who are supposed to do meetings, conferences, marriage ceremonies, they have had it put on hold or done in a very small scale. I looked across my fence the other day, that was sometimes in 2020, and there was a wedding going on within the compound of the, just the pastor came, and all of them put together would not be more than 20. And they wore wedding dress and everything went as usual. That is as low key as it can be. We can call all of that part of the negative perspectives of COVID-19. However, in the middle of these restrictions and what some people will call imprisonment, technology responded in unprecedented ways. Zoom has now become the leader in meetings, virtual conferences, virtual marriage, virtual everything. So, also we have things like Google Meet. They have changed the way we do education. Because in the midst of all of this, there were schools, tertiary institutions, secondary schools that really never lost any time. Because as soon as it was obvious that they cannot do their physical meetings, they simply turned to virtual classes. In Nigeria, in other parts of the country, those are positive things that we can say has come out of COVID-19. So what is the origin and history of COVID-19? It is a novel coronavirus. It is believed to have originated from a town called Wuhan in China, sometimes in the year 2019. And that's why it is called COVID-19. Rapidly, it spread around the entire world because the speed at which people travel around the world is now enormous. And at the start, we didn't know how all this was supposed to be managed, so it aided the spread. And if you have the little lecture in your hand, you will see the structure of COVID-19. How many people have been infected in the world? Well, as at 23rd of October 2020, we have close to 244 million people who have been infected in the world. That's already more than the estimated population of Nigeria. And you know, Nigeria is the most populous black nation in the world. So it cannot be regarded as a small matter. And those who have died up till the 23rd of October this year, it's about 5 million. That's a large group. There are many states in Nigeria that their total population is not up to 5 million. So it's like wiping out such entire states. But thankfully, more than 220 million people have recovered. Some have had the infection for the second time, and not only for the first time. I have a table here that shows the 6 leading nations in the world affected by COVID-19. We have on the top of that list United States of America. Despite the sophistication, medical facilities available, they top the list. We have India, Brazil, United Kingdom. You know, United Kingdom population is quite small compared to many other countries of the world, but it's placed in the 4th position. Then we have Russia and Turkey. You can see the various incidences there. Then we come to Africa. Leading Africa is South Africa. Then we have Morocco, Tunisia, Ethiopia. Nigeria is in number 9. Anyway, let's talk about Africa as a whole. We are grateful to God that for whatever reason, the impact and severity of COVID-19 is not as bad, because we don't have the capacity to handle the problems as much as the developed countries of the world has. But looking at the statistics for Nigeria more closely, we have more than 210,000 people affected by COVID-19 in Nigeria. And unfortunately, we have over 2,800 people who have died. I'm sure you know one person or the other. And thankfully, we have almost 200,000 who have recovered. So how many health workers have been killed? The WHO said on Thursday last week that somewhere between 80,000 and 180,000 health workers. By health workers, we mean doctors, nurses, speech therapists, audiologists, anybody who is involved in the health industry. That's a large group, considering the fact that many of the nations of the world have a short supply of these health workers. When was the last episode of such global game changer? I can say categorically for nearly every one of us who are here, we have never seen anything like COVID-19 in our lifetime. Something that brings the entire world to its knees. The last worldwide pandemic occurred in 1918. That's about 100 years before the current one came up. And it's called the influenza pandemic. It was caused by the HNN1 virus, with genes of avian origin. It is popularly called the Spanish flu. The origin was not clearly known, but just like this COVID-19, it spread throughout the entire world. So wearing face masks all over the place is not new. At that time too, they had to do it. Washing the hands frequently, using hand sanitizer is not completely new. At that time, they had to do it. And you could see pictures of people going around the same way we are going around today. Took the vaccine, the 2 jabs, yet he still died. I know a number of my colleagues who have taken the 2 jabs and still came down with the disease. So it's important that we keep up our guard. Well, there has been other less global game changers. For example, you know about Ebola and what it has done to us in recent times. It was not worldwide, you see, but it also has the capacity to change a lot of things. Then we have Lassa fever that comes on and off. Before I just give some lessons that COVID-19 has taught us, I'd like to remind us that there are other non-communicable game changers. You know, sometimes something becomes sensational, we spend a lot of time on it, but there are other things that also gives problem on a consistent way. For example, for the speech pathologist, the audiologist, stroke is one problem that we confront on a daily basis. It's not all the time that somebody has stroke that it comes out in the newspapers. You see, but it changes the life of the individual drastically and the lives of the members of their family. I have a teacher, very, very fluent, you know, orator by every means that you can talk about him. Then he had stroke. As a group, we went to greet him. We were drawn to tears because this, our very fluent teacher, recognized us, but he cannot talk. At some point, tears started coming down his eyes. Why? Stroke has made a difference. And I know some of you will be getting involved in the speech therapy of such individuals. And I'm also sure that you have seen people who have been severely affected by hearing loss. Suddenly, a man who could hear you well, you know, you now talk to him, he gives you a paper to write down what you want to say to him. it's some form of game changer that we need to be empathic about as we practice our profession. I said that in such cases, it may not be a global, worldwide game changer, but for the individual, for his family, even if it doesn't come out on CNN, it's a big blow for such individuals. So whatever we can do to help and assist such patients, we must bear in mind. You see, sometimes when it's ward round or when I get to the clinic, my residents come and give me a report of what is happening on the ward. Sometimes they paint a patient with a pathetic clinical condition. And I look at it, even if you take him to Australia, take him to America, take him to any part of the world, there is nothing anybody can do for him. You see, I tell my residents, just as I tell myself, you must thank God that you are in good health. Because that person could have been any one of you. And that is the reason when we deal with patients, we should show empathy and put in the very best. Because that is nothing the person has done that has made him a victim of such a situation that you probably have not also done. And I usually tell them that I hope you have learned how to pray. Because there are situations where medicine in the very best state cannot do anything. In such circumstances, you need your maker. One, to spare you from such, many years ago I saw a patient who was 80 years old. And the children who brought him to hospital said he was seeing a doctor for the first time. He had no reason to come to the hospital. So he saw me and looked at his complaint, looked into his ears. All he had was earwax. After 80 years. So I said, Baba must not come back. I don't want him to see a doctor for the second time. So we make sure we remove the wax that day. He's a blessed person. Okay? And I hope and believe you will be a blessed person too. Well, I'd like to talk very briefly about some of the lessons that COVID-19 has taught us. COVID-19 has taught us there are other ways of doing things. The one we are used to, but there are other ways. Sometimes when I'm going to my house, there is a convenient path through which I go. But at other time, I tell myself, let me go through other paths so that I know what is happening in my neighborhood. COVID-19 has taught us there are alternative ways of doing some things. The world will not collapse if some certain things are not done in some certain ways. Because now that we did not have the opportunity, the conferences are still going on. Marriage ceremonies. The one that touched me the most is churches. Mosques. They were closed down. The time that it was time for Hajj, Saudi Arabia was locked down. Nobody could go anywhere. Did we die? Did we die? The life continued. So there are many things that there are alternative ways of doing them. And as it pertains to you, in care of patients with speech pathologies, in your care of patients with hearing loss, maybe there are other ways to take care of them that we have not thought about. You know, they tell us that necessity is the mother of invention. But my advice is it possible to think ahead of the necessity such that we don't learn by experience? Because sometimes learning by experience can be costly to the person who is going through the experience. Can we learn by science? You know, sometimes they tell us experience is the best teacher. I say, well, maybe, so long as I am not the one experiencing the bad thing. I can learn from the bad experience of somebody else. So we can improve in our care of patients that come to us by thinking of alternative ways. Are there another way? You know, they say it is curiosity that kills the cat, but that's, you know, it's curiosity that makes better ways of doing things possible. So COVID-19 has taught us that there are other ways. Number two, COVID-19 came out of the blues. That is the way emergencies occur. And I remember I had a patient who had retrosternal goiter. How did he get to me? He was having difficulty with swallowing. So he came and looked at him. I can't see any reason why you should be having difficulty with swallowing. Okay, go and do a CT. She did a CT and had this huge goiter be somewhere in the underneath the bone of the chest. So we call it a retrosternal goiter. So I said, fine. Now that we have found the reason, you will need surgery. He said he's ready to go for the surgery. Then he asked where. And I said, we have excellent surgeons who will do it in our teaching hospital. He said, that's fine. But then he asked a question. Suppose there is a problem, an unexpected problem. Can we handle it? Anyway, after arguing back and forth, he decided to go to Europe to have the surgery. And the thing was uneventful. After they finished, I had to give him a letter. He went to Europe, he had it done, and the doctor there wrote what they did, and she came back. I continued to follow. But the lesson is this patient has confidence in the capabilities of our surgeon. But on the day when the unexpected happened, do we have facility? I was in Australia 2 or 3 years ago before COVID. And my friend that were going around showed me, said, you see that our gas, anywhere you go to now, you see our people. He said, you see that our gas, I said, yes. He said, he had stroke. And with his stroke, he simply got into the hospital. Before the next day, they had taken him to theater, cleaned out all the blood, and then clipped the one that was bleeding. And by third, fourth day, he's ready to walk again. If it is in Nigeria, we will wait until the clot will get absorbed gradually. 6 weeks, 6 months. But for them, it has happened. Immediately he comes, he's landing in the hospital, CT scan, wheel him to the theater. before the day is over, they will evacuate the cloth and do everything. So when you see people with stroke walking with a disability, you don't see that. You know, are we ready to face on eventualities? There are several people that we say here died suddenly. They say he has heart attack. Many people have heart attack all over the world. All you need to do is to get them to hospital. Their heart is bypassed almost within an hour, while you sort out why he has the heart attack. So there are many people that die here with facilities elsewhere, they will be alive. You see, so I ask myself, why? Nigeria is richer, better, more resources, with more intelligent individuals than many of the countries that are donating to us. Why? There is something that is amiss, which I do hope we will be able to put in place very soon. So my prayer is that may we reach our promised land very soon. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause once again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Better hearing. Better hearing. I just learned it also, so let's be learning it together. Thank you very much. Now we are moving straight to the goodwill messages, and I would like to call on the Chairman, Medical Rehabilitation Therapist Board of Nigeria, Dr. Umo Edet Udom, who is represented by Professor Adegoke, BOA. A round of applause, sir. Thank you very much. You are highly welcomed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I like to stand on the existing protocol. Well, just like the president said, the president of your association, the chairman would have wanted to be here. In fact, she planned to be here. Given the role that she was supposed to come and play here, unfortunately, she had to be in Abuja. And she has to send me to come and represent her because of the high esteem in which she holds your association and the president of the association. You will recall that the president of the association is also a member of the governing board of the Medical Rehabilitation Therapist Board of Nigeria, Professor Ademokoya. He plays a very prominent role on the board, and as such, it's not possible that he will invite the chairman of the board and the chairman will not get represented if she cannot be here personally. Professor Ademokoya happens to be a friend, and again, I got to know about this last night, that I have to be here to represent the chairman, and I have to do some other things to make myself available. Anyway, the chairman of the Medical Rehabilitation Therapist Board, the board that supersedes, I think about 7 professional associations, rejoices with your association on this occasion of the conference and wishes the association well. He gives the assurance of the activities of the professional body because we know the quality of which you are made, and the contribution and potential contribution that Nigerians can benefit from your association. So she sends her greetings and wishes you a successful conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Adegoke. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, permit me to invite to the podium the mother of the day, Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga, Federal Honorable Ayodele Irewole Ishokan Federal Constituency from Osun State, Abuja, Nigeria. And she's represented by Chief Mrs. Christy Ogunfolaji Olushola. You are highly welcome, ma. A round of applause for her, please. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Better hearing, better speech. I want to apologize for the absence of Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga. She's very busy with a federal matter as important as this conference. However, she sent a little write-up, and here I deliver, please. Being the text of a speech delivered by Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga, member representing Irewole Ayodele Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives at the 2021 SPAAN International Congress. Professor Adekeye Abiona, representing the Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan, Professor Adebola Ekaola. Professor J. Abiola Ademokoya, President SPAAN. The Chairman, Rehabilitation Therapist, Board of Nigeria, Dr. Umo Edet Udom. The King and other distinguished scholars and academicians here on the high table. Kindly permit me to stand on all already established protocols. Speech language and pathologists, also called SLFs, are experts in communication. SLFs work with people of all ages, from babies to adults. Many types of communication and swallowing problems. These include problems with speech sounds. How we say sounds and put sounds together into words. Other words for these problems are articulation or phonological disorders. Audiology focuses on the diagnosis, prevention, and treatment of hearing and balance problems. Speech language pathologists specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of speech, language, and swallowing disorders. These are two separate professions, but they are strongly connected. This, by implication, indicates that SLP and audiologists provide essential services that help in the improvement of communication impairments. The profession also has the potential of correcting communication disorders when detected at the earlier stage, that is, in children. When reading, communication, comprehension, and articulation can be stimulated. For us, at the National House of Assembly, education development of awards, youth is a top agenda. Reasons why we ensure that a sizable percentage of the yearly budget goes to the educational sector. Yet, the desired result will not be achieved if communication and speech is impaired. We understand the importance of SLPs and audiologists, though a very rare but very essential profession that has helped developed countries and contributed immensely to their GDP and human capital development. Hi, Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga, on behalf of the entire members of the House of Representatives, therefore, commend the good job of the organizers of this international conference. You are professionals in the field of speech pathology and audiology. Your great contribution to the service of humanity, Nigeria and mankind, has not gone unnoticed. I am of the belief that arising from this conference, the profession shall be further enhanced and our youth shall see discipline as a noble discipline. I wish you a successful discussion as to provide a lasting solution to the communication disorder in our country. Thank you and God bless. Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga send a token. Send a token that I should drop here to support this conference. I will do that in due course. Thank you. Here is the token, sir. Who is taking it?
Better speech, better speech, better speech, better hearing. We want to appreciate our mother of the day, Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga, duly represented by another Honorable Ogunfolaji. We want to appreciate the Honorable for this guest talk to speech pathologists and Audiology Association in Nigeria. And we're leaving a promise that more of our service delivery to the entire humanity you will see. The Lord bless you, ma.
Better speech, better hearing. All right. Are we tired? We are. Don't worry. We are heading somewhere. All right. Right now, I would like to invite the representative of the Smile Train Incorporation in the person of Mrs. Victoria Awainze. Thank you very much. My round of applause for her, please.
Standing on the existing protocol, I want to say better speech, better hearing. On behalf of Smile Train, the world's largest cleft charity, I'm here to represent the Smile Train organization, and we've been partnering with SPAAN. We're here to congratulate SPAAN for this wonderful conference. Members of the association get empowered to know how to provide the speech therapy in cleft. And I want to use this opportunity to say thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak and to congratulate you on this your conference. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. A round of applause for Mrs. Victoria once again. All right, last on my list on goodwill messages, I would love, if permitted, to invite the representative of folks. If you check the last page of this with you, you will see an advert there, Amplifox. So I would like to invite their representative. A round of applause for him, sir. Sorry, I didn't get the name.
My name is Dr. Israel, Procurement and After Sales Services of all Amplivox products, tympanometers, screening and diagnostic audiometers. You can visit our stand out there. One major thing we have done in the last 3 years is that we have developed in-country local capability to calibrate. So your Amplivox products, you don't need to send them abroad anymore. Send them to us, we'll calibrate them for you at a cheaper price and send them back to you. We're also the representative of Tremetrix and Myco, so we can support you along those lines. Please feel free to visit our stand. We have flyers for you and tell you more about what we do. Thank you so much for coming.
Can we just appreciate them? Put your hands together to appreciate them. Now, on the agenda, we are moving on to another key elements of this program, and that is the award presentation. Can we just appreciate the association? Put your hands together to appreciate the Speech Pathologists and Audiology Association in Nigeria. So join me as I welcome Dr. Esther Oyefeso to anchor this part of the program. You are welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, everyone, for your support so far. Quickly, I'll be reading the citations of the awardees. First, we'll be taking that of Professor Adeshegun Fatusi, and a concise citation on him is on page 15. But to further buttress what is there, I'll be giving a brief information on why he's being awarded today. Okay, thank you, sir. Professor Adeshegun Olayiwole Fatusi was nominated for this award for his outstanding contribution to the professions of audiology and speech-language pathology for the following reasons. 1, he's the first provost in any Nigerian university to propose the establishment of the Department of Audiology, and this was while he was serving as the provost of the College of Health Sciences at Obafemi Awolowo University. Secondly, he's the first vice chancellor in any Nigerian university to propose the establishment of the Faculty of Medical Rehabilitation while serving as the provost of the, as the vice chancellor of the University of Medical Sciences, Ondo City. Third, he's the first vice chancellor to propose the establishment of Department of Audiology and Department of Speech-Language Therapy in UNIMED, in addition to what is started at Obafemi Awolowo University. Fourth, his passions and capacities to support and continue to support the study and practice of audiology and speech pathology in Nigeria, Africa, and in the world. Please join me as we celebrate today Professor Adeshegun Fatusi. We'll be inviting the Medical Rehabilitation Board, Professor Umo Edet Umo, represented here today by Professor B.O.A. Adegoke, to please help us give this award to Professor Fatusi. Please, let's appreciate him.
Then know you. I think you are the provost. Yes, I came for induction of physiotherapy students then. And I still remember the warm reception that you gave me. And over the years, I was also at Unimed on sabbatical, and I left just before you came. But I've been hearing so much about you concerning the support that you give to medical rehabilitation professions. And I think this is an appreciation of all that, not just for audiology, but for all the medical rehabilitation professions. So on behalf of the Speech Pathologists and Audiologists Association in Nigeria, SPAAN, I'm proud to present this distinguished award being presented to you, Professor Adesegun Fatusi, for your outstanding contribution to the development of audiology and speech language therapy professions in Nigeria. Today, 27th October 2021. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. Please let's appreciate them once again. Thank you. Thank you, sirs. Okay, we're moving to the next awardee, the late Professor Clement Ayodele Bakare. We have his citation on page 14 of the program of events. But in addition to that, like we did earlier, we'll be giving justifications for why he's receiving this award. The first is that Professor Clement Ayodele Bakare was the first African to receive master's degrees in audiology as well as in speech pathology. Thank you. He also established the first audiology and speech clinic in any Nigerian university. Also, he taught, graduated, and supervised and mentored several students who are now today clinicians, lecturers, researchers, professors, and so on. He's also the first audiologist in Africa. Can we appreciate him? And the founding president of the Speech Pathologists and Audiologists Association in Nigeria. We will please be inviting Professor Julius Ademokoya to receive this award on his behalf. And we'll be inviting the Mother of the Day, Honorable Taiwo Olukemi Oluga, represented by our Chief, Mrs. Christiana Ogunfolajo, to please help us to present this award. Thank you, Ma and Sir.
It is an honor and a great privilege to present to you the posthumous award presented to Professor Clement Ayodele Bakare by the Speech Pathologists and Audiologists Association in Nigeria, SPAAN, for his outstanding contribution to the development of audiology and speech language therapy professionals in Nigeria. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much. Please let's appreciate them once again. Thank you. You are a very encouraging audience. Thank you very much. All right. The next award will be presented to Smile Train. You can just follow with me as I read from page 16. This is an international non-profit Smile Train was founded 22 years ago to support free cleft lip and palate care for children and adults in the developing world. They help to sustain a scalable global health model for cleft treatment, empowering local medical professionals in the cleft ecosystem, which are surgeons, anesthetics, nurses, nutritionists, speech therapists, orthodontists, psychologists, and community health volunteers, with training, funding, and resources to offer free cleft surgery and essential care in communities all year round. Smile Train has provided over 1.5 million free cleft surgeries across the world. I think they deserve an applause for that. With active programs in 40 African countries. Since 2007, Smile Train has developed partnerships with 50 hospitals and provided life-changing cleft surgeries to nearly 30,000 patients in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Over 6,000 babies are estimated to be born with cleft annually in Nigeria. Okay, and to further buttress what is there, Smile Train has been mainstreaming professionals of the speech and language practice as well as other professionals like otorhinolaryngologists, orthodontists, and ENT nurses. They have also sponsored several training programs for Nigerian speech pathologists in and outside of Nigeria. They have also been granting financial support to the programs of a Speech Pathologists and Audiologists Association. All right. Please, we'll be inviting the representative of the Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan, in person of Dr. Ayodele Oshisonya, to please help with this award. Thank you, sir.
On behalf of the Speech Pathologists and Audiology Association in Nigeria, a distinguished award being presented to the Smile Train Incorporation for their outstanding contribution to the development of speech language therapy profession in Nigeria. Thank you for this service delivery.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma. Okay, last but not the least, there's a special award also to the most active young professional for the year 2021. Can we guess who this award is going to? Okay. And this award is to encourage other professionals to be active in the association. This award is in memory of late Mrs. Patience Adewerimo Oshisonya. And the awardee is Mr. Ahmed Olaito Lawal. We'll please invite Dr. Simon Afolabi, the SPAAN secretary, to help with this presentation of award. Thank you, sir. Please let's celebrate him.
On behalf of Mrs. Olusanya, Mrs. Ososanya, sorry, Wamima Osanya, would like to present this award to you for your outstanding performance as the young audiologist in the country. So, on their behalf, kindly accept this award. Thank you.
Can we appreciate ourselves? Like the president said, award after the award. And when next we meet, there shall be several awards as well. It's a part of the tradition of the Speech Pathology Association and Audiology in Nigeria, so we appreciate ourselves. Now, after this closing, we would like to have a good photograph with everyone outside this hall. But on behalf of the awardees, I would like you to join me to welcome just one awardee to make a comment of acceptance or a comment of rejection on behalf of the awardees. And I want to call the Vice Chancellor here seated, Professor Adeshegun Fatusi, to give the reaction.
Better speech. Better hearing. Thank you. The President of SPAAN, our very respected Professor Julius Abiola, every member of the high table, please kindly permit me to adopt the protocol that has been very well established. I bring greetings to you all, distinguished members of this association, and on behalf of all the awardees, I want to thank you most profusely for this award and for the opportunity for us to be here to celebrate this occasion with you. For me personally, the journey to getting to where I am today will have been possible without a number of people, and I would like to recognize them. But let me say that on one hand, I feel excited, but I believe that this is something that we need to have done as a country. The idea of moving speech pathologists, speech language therapy, the idea of moving audiology forward is something we should have done several years ago. And seeing the great needs, it's good that today we are beginning to wake up to that reality. The Chinese says that the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The next best time is today. I'm glad that that seed we have planted in UNIMED is beginning to encourage and challenge others. So I want to thank you very much for this honor. Let me, like I said, a number of people without whom this journey for me personally to be here will have been possible. The first person is my colleague, friend, and sister, Professor Yemisi Amusa, who was the first person that came to me and said, Provost, I have an idea. Speech pathology, audiology, it's not happening. We need to do it here. I was just sitting down, honestly, in my office when she brought the idea, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's talk about it. How do we go about it? And so this journey and this dream truly, and the award perhaps belong to her more than me. She was the one that actually catalyzed my interest in that. The second person I'd like to recognize in this journey is Dr. Ayodele Owolabi. Because when we decided that we wanted to move the idea forward, he was the one that had been working with Yemisi. They worked together over time. And he helped us to put together the curriculum that we use them. The third person, chronologically, I would like to recognize is the registrar of the board, Dr. Funke Akonle. Because she's been my very good friend over the years. We just met in this profession, this work. I've just become friends. So we talk from time to time. Particularly when I run into trouble with physiotherapy, I have to call her to come and bail me out. So I call her and I said, Doc, there is this need you want to do. And she's like, you have my support. I will come there, we'll discuss. So I want to thank her very much. If she has said no, I will have backed out. Because I wouldn't have thought it was a journey worth it. The fourth person, chronologically, is one young lady in UNIMED, Dr. Oge Immaculata Apalaba, who, when I got to UNIMED, going from Ife to UNIMED, my dream was clear. I wasn't going to create another University of Ibadan. I was not going to create Ife. I wanted to create a unique institution that responds to needs, that's not just following the path that have been charted. And so we are asking ourselves, where are the strategic gaps in the Nigerian health sector. And medical rehabilitation happen to have so much gaps. And we felt we will rise and fill that gap because it's our historical mission as Nigerian first specialized health and medical university to ensure that we meet needs that have so far been overlooked and neglected by other universities. So when I got there and I mentioned it to her, she was like, oh yes sir, I know what to do, I know who to talk to. And she's been so up and doing. And next person on that list is Professor Ademokoya himself. Because he called, I don't even know he called her. And she just called and said, I have spoken to the president of SPAAN. Will you like to speak to us, sir? I said, why not? And then we started discussion, and he was so supportive, giving us ideas about how to move forward. And finally, coming over to UNIMED to play a great role, not just in medical rehabilitation, but also in our postgraduate school, where he is currently the second in command of the postgraduate school. I will not end without thanking one particular person who, for me, has been the picture I've carried in my mind about who professionals in this field are, and that is Ms. Oguni. Thank you very much, ma'am. Ms. Oguni is a big auntie to many of us. Let me say it publicly, Ms. Oguni is the wife of the man who supervised my BSc thesis in Ife in 1984. She's the only person I have known forever in the field of audiology. Forever. Until all these issues start happening. Finally, one more person. When we decided we were going to start this in Ife, and I spoke to the then dean, Professor Rufus Adedoyin, he was skeptical. He wasn't too sure this was going to happen. But he called his team together and they rose to the occasion. And so this award for me is dedicated to these 7 people, as well as to the Senate of the University of Medical Sciences, who embraced the vision that we have to start a faculty of medical rehab with 5 programs: physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech language therapy, audiology, and finally, we are also working on orthotics and prosthetics, which we have started. I want to end by thanking you again very profusely, and to tell you that UNIMED, we are ready to partner with SPAAN. We do hope that we'll be in Ondo one of these days for your conference. We'll be glad to host you in Ondo, and we'll do our best to continue to partner with you. Thank you very, very much. We wish you all the very best.
Let's appreciate the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adeshegun Fatosi, for this word of encouragement to speech pathologists and audiology association in Nigeria. Now, gradually, we are coming to this phase of this conference titled the opening ceremony. And after this opening ceremony, we'll have a short break, and thereafter we'll convene again for lead paper presentation 1 to be delivered by Professor Catherine Crowley. So now I would like to invite the General Secretary of Speech Pathologists and Audiology Association in Nigeria, Professor Simeon O. Afolabi, for the vote of thanks. Let's appreciate him as he comforts.
We'd like to thank you that you are here today. And firstly, we'd like to thank all our guests who are here this morning, this afternoon now. And we'd like to thank the awardee for being available and for all their contributions. We'd like to appreciate you. And we pray that God will going to strengthen you to do more, to contribute to this field. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the people who are on the exhibition. We'd like to appreciate your presence and your contribution to this conference. And all of us, we'd like to thank all of us for being here today to be part of this conference. And as Dr. Ayo has said, please, the conference has not ended, it continues. So after this short break, let's be here again to continue the paper presentation. So please, we'll have a short break. So thank you for coming, and God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Better hearing. Are we tired? Better hearing. Better speech. All right, thank you very much. I hope we all had, it was educative, and thank you very much, all distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I duly recognize all our guest speakers and people on the high table. I recognize you. Thank you very much for coming also. We'll have the national anthem now. All right, thank you. Round of applause. My name is Akin Abalade. Thanks for coming. See you outside for the pictures. Sorry, please. I would love everybody to come outside so we can have the picture section. Thank you very much.